hello, live again. So just ended a live, and then I was watching because this is a breaking news story that we started talking about. So let's listen. You know who has all the info? JLR. Here we go. Hit that like button, folks.
All right, we are live. Come on in. Breaking news, breaking news. Some new bombshell information out about the shooter of Charlie Kirk. This is a shot outside the jail where the shooter is at. Utah County Jail, where he's held without bond. But some breaking stuff has come out, folks. Come on in. We're going to talk about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson, and it is being revealed that he lived in an apartment with a transgender partner. Oh boy, Fox News is breaking it. A Fox News reporter, Brooke Singman, put out a tweet just about an hour ago, and now media outlets are starting to put the information out. Apparently, Tyler lived with a transgender partner. Tyler lived with a transgender partner, a man transitioning to be a woman. Now, if this is true, this probably is the motive here on why Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. And it appears, based off the affidavit and the rest, the court record that we saw, this is probably the individual, the partner that Tyler was communicating with after committing the crime. Come on in, folks. Come on in. This is the jail where he's held at. Charges are expected to be formally announced and processed on Tuesday. He could be in court on Tuesday afternoon, possibility. But yeah, Brooke Sigmund, who is a reporter for Fox News, says Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson lived with his transgender partner. Sources tell me the individual who is male transitioning to female is fully cooperating with the FBI. Now check this out. She goes on to say, we're going to put his photo also on the right, Tyler. Sources tell me the FBI had texts and communications between Robinson and this transgender partner that helped authorities solidify that Robinson was indeed the shooter. Oh boy, oh boy. Folks, we've already heard about the writings on the casings, right? Antifa writings, Antifa anthem on there, the 3 arrows pointed down, which is clearly a Antifa logo. But now he's living with a transgender. He's living with a man transitioning to be a female. I want to remind the viewers the last question that Charlie Kirk answered before he was murdered. Do you remember what transpired there before the fatal shot? I want to go over that. The question was asked, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Charlie replied, too many. He was then asked, do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Charlie responded, counting or not counting gang violence. Charlie was then assassinated by the shooter, Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson. The shooter was living with a transgender in an apartment. Now, folks, as we were watching yesterday, we got his photo up. Public awareness. As we were watching the FBI raid at his parents' home, where they took the Challenger, the murder vehicle, we'll say the escape vehicle, the vehicle used to go travel 4 hours to go assassinate Charlie Kirk and then head back in his parents' driveway, they were also raiding an apartment complex in St. George. They were also raiding an apartment complex that he lived at with his transgender partner. We don't know the name of the transgender partner at this time. The transgender partner is fully cooperating. He was living in the Fountain Heights apartment complex. Fountain Heights, which was in St. George, the town right by Washington City, Utah, where his parents lived. He also lived with his parents, too. He went back and forth. But it appears that within the last year, he got a new apartment and moved in with his partner. They use the word partner, but we know that partner means boyfriend, girlfriend. It was a male, according to Fox News, and now the New York Post has put out an article on it. It was a male transitioning to be a female. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, lived with transgender partner. He was in the process of transitioning from male to female.
And hit the like button, folks. I just ended a live and I did some more research on this. And so tell me what your thoughts are. Again, this story just continues to develop and by the minute, right? Hit the like button. Bach Mari, how are you? We just completed a live and I said, I'll go ahead and jump back on for a little while. So let's listen.
That individual, who has yet to be identified by authorities, is now fully cooperating with the FBI on its investigation to the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk. Text messages and other communications that the transgender individual traded with Robinson, 22 years old, helped the feds nab the assassin. Federal and state authorities revealed during a press conference on Friday that a roommate was cooperating with the investigation. Revealed.
I mean, and if you don't, because who knows? We don't know all of the details, but indications are they were texting each other back to back. Was the roommate aware that this is what he was going to do? Patriot Roy Glad gave up all the evidence. Yeah, Patriot, he doesn't want to go to jail, right? But I'm still saying, and I said this before, if you are a heterosexual male, why would you not go and get a just someone who was born female? So this guy was confused about his sexuality, in my opinion, and because you're with a man who's transitioning to be a woman. Make it make sense. I don't understand it, but here we go. Right, Yvonne? Those hormones that they're taking, they're just completely mixed up in the brain. And the hormones they're taking, it's just too much. Here we go.
Communications from a contact named Tyler that described bullet casings similar to those found at the scene and discussed the need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point. As we know, with this crime, it has been revealed that after the guy that you see here, the assassin, his life in prison is going to be in. Whew, I don't know what's going to happen to this guy. I think they're going to be doing a teleconference, by the way, when he goes to court. I don't think they're bringing him into court. But, oh, my goodness. And then there's some talks like some high-profile people might be going to his court hearing. Some people speculated that Donald Trump would go, but I don't think he would go to his court hearing. Look at that. Look at that. Right here, we pinned the comment. Sky. Remember Sky? Valadez? Remember Sky? Sky was a account that we covered during the course of this, the manhunt for the killer at the time before Robinson was caught. But this Sky Valadez individual was saying he hopes that Charlie evaporates If you got that tweet, throw that up there, Magnolia. The great Magnolia running the stream as always, and said something big was going to happen to Charlie Kirk. Well, that
yeah, and we've heard that. Again, I have a lot of people joining the stream. I just ended a live, and I said I may as well go ahead and jump back on since Fox and all of I think all of the major. Well, Fox is the only one I really look at, but they're breaking the story. And I remember when this story happened, that was the question: was a transgender person involved? So this is something. Wow. And I'm still looking at all of these people losing their jobs because they're making stupid comments on social media. I don't get that. Joel just watched a video of this guy supposedly climbing down off the roof. He had no... Joel, that's what everyone is saying. I didn't see a firearm either. So what are they talking about? I don't get... They're saying they found it. But when he jumped, he didn't have a weapon. That doesn't make sense to me. Mayor, all of this because they tried to normalize transgenderism, mixing these young people. Yeah, mixing these people up. Yes. Oh my God. So, yeah. All right. I'll continue. I would. Those that weren't here for the earlier live stream, the UK, they're out in mass protesting about the assassination of Charlie Kirk as well. Here we go.
Individual ended up having their account suspended. That individual ended up putting out something on Instagram saying, "I'm not the shooter." But a lot of people speculate that this individual was involved.
How do you not know? You were living with this person. So how do you not know what is going on? So I don't know what your thoughts are. Let me know, folks. But those are my thoughts.
That's Najjes. The Sky one is the Skylar one that you were talking about was actually, I'm confused here because there was two incidents. The other one was about writing the song about Charlie Kirk dead at 31 or some sort of lyrics like this. This was another one. Could it be this one? There was two of them.
So this is a high school photo of Sky Valadez. Valadez had a song called Charlie. All right. So Patriot, they're marching. Okay. Steve, right. We need to see the trajectory exactly. Trans Antifa. Boom. There you go. All right.
Sky Valadez and the other one. So the other one was the one that wrote on social media something bad had happened. Sky, still confusing because there's so many of them out there. So I apologize for that. Could it be one of the two there? Two of those individuals. Who's the transgender roommate? Now, before I came on here, I can't find any connection whatsoever as far as the public databases with Tyler here connected with that address at the apartment complex they're raiding. But it makes me wonder, particularly about this person or others. Remember, maybe if this report is true by Fox News, and Fox News is putting their neck out there. I don't think Fox News is going to be putting the fake news as if this is not true.
Yeah, Fox News is reporting on it. Okay. I'm listening to see, it's not MSNBC or the Clinton News Network. So I'm like, okay, all right, here we go.
I haven't seen Fox News as putting out blatantly fake news. I mean, they're literally saying that Tyler Robinson lived with a transgender partner. Now, that transgender partner could have had ties to Sky Valadez, or the other one that said that something bad is going to happen to Charlie Kirk or somebody, because it's like a network. A lot of the trans hang out together in groups, right? Friends.
Yes, so we don't know where this will wind up. How many of them did his partner know? And as he said, people in that transgender community, They spend time together. How many people actually knew? And so that could be something if they found out that more people knew and then they didn't say anything. Yes, Tina. Here we go.
Friends, how wide is this plot? You know, the Sun reported yesterday that there was a possible accomplice, but they didn't name names, and it was really only the Sun that came out with that article.
And the last video, the live video I did earlier, I pulled it up. I shared, I think it was the Daily Caller or Wire. They had an article. So again, it is, and Fox News, if they're talking about it, I'm more apt to believe it. Okay. So
it's really only the Sun that came out with that, but they were talking about another accomplice. Now, at this time, nobody else has been arrested. It's only him. But what are they going to find in these apartments? What are they going to find in his home? What are they going to find in the Dodge Challenger that has been seized? We watched it live yesterday. But it makes you wonder. Last question about trans shooters, right? Mass shooters. And, you know, Charlie, it probably that question. Now, a lot of people are saying about the question, the person that asked the question should be fully vetted. That person come out and said, I asked the question, was crying, said, I don't support Charlie Kirk being shot. However, some people think like it was planned to ask that specific question to gaslight Charlie to respond about transgender, so then the person can make that shot. But really, I mean, Charlie Kirk was asked about transgender Americans. And he said in the last 2 years, how many transgenders have been mass shooters in the last 2 years, 10 years? And he said too many. Probably at that point, the shooter, like, that's it. Locked and loaded, I'm doing it.
yeah, we talked about this. These people, they're nuts. And Barnes Homestead, I don't think you were here earlier. Kami, you weren't either. I had a live stream earlier today. We were talking about his roommate and the neighbors. And the neighbors were, you know, talking about how nice the family was, and they're just in shock. You don't know people. You think you know people, but you do not know. And so anyone can put up a facade, right? And we know things aren't always as they seem. So there you go. Here we go.
You follow what I mean? Because then, you know, another question was asked, and then boom, assassinated. The shooter has a transgender partner, according to Fox News. Hello? Seems like the motive to me. Seems like the motive to me. I put out a tweet yesterday because, you know, let's be real, folks. This guy's family seem like they're conservative. His mom and dad. Matt and Amber seems like he comes from a conservative family. But it appears something happened to him in the course of his education. Just like I've seen with others. There was another case that we covered months back. Cooper Joe Frederick. He was one of those Tesla bombers. Remember a few months ago, Tesla, there was a bunch of fire bombings at different Teslas, and they were rounding up people and arrested. They arrested like 7 of them federally. But one of them was from Colorado. His name is Cooper Joe Frederick. And believe it or not, you know, he firebombed. He was I don't know his actual age. I think he was in his early 20s. His parents are avid Trump supporters. His parents are conservatives. Yet something happened to this young man, to compel him to go at Trump and Elon Musk, the Tesla. It was all in defiance of the Doge. It was all in defiance of the Trump administration. It was all in defiance of Elon Musk. And I'm seeing similarities here in a sense of kids growing up in conservative households, conservative values, but something happens when they go to either high school or college.
We've talked about that here on the channel. Indoctrination happens and brainwashing happens.
I feel like indoctrination, some teachings in them just twists their mind and radicalizes them and then turns them into way far left extreme. Way far left extreme. And I believe that's what happened here with this individual. I do believe that he grew up conservative. Hunting, families are Republicans, registered Republicans. He's unaffiliated. Think this issue needs to be addressed, because I'm not saying that someone should be conservative or Republican. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is something happened in this guy's mind to click and go contrary to what his growing up and his upbringing is. I know lots of Democrats and Republicans are peaceful people. Lots of Democrats, lots of Republicans, lots of independents. But there's extremes. And I'm seeing a growing and alarming pattern of indoctrination starting in the universities and high school. Because consider this with this terrible, terrible tragedy. How many professors have we seen? How many teachers have we seen? How many school employees have we seen in the last 48 hours that got publicly shamed because when they heard that Charlie Kirk got assassinated, they're celebrating? It was quite a few of them. It was a lot of them. It's all over the country. These teachers. Whoa. Is this the roommate? Here we go. Daily Mail. Bombshell. Look at this. This has brought, listen, I'm looking at this for the very first time. The great Magnolia found it. Introducing Lance Twiggs, a 22-year-old wannabe professional gamer who lived with Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, gave cops incriminating text messages leading to his arrest. I introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, to Lance Twiggs, turned over Tyler Robinson, who lived with him in a 3-bedroom apartment in St. George. Whoa, we got the name. I was like, before I came on live, I was like, who's the transgender roommate? And I couldn't find any information. Magnolia found it. And kudos to the Daily Mail, because it appears like the Daily Mail has officially broke this as far as the mainstream media. I'm sure other people have been talking about it. Lance. His name is Lance. Now I'm going to do some background on him while we're live. Lance Twiggs. It's an interesting name. Lance Twiggs. Huh? Wow. Everything is coming out. We knew it.
And remember, those of you just joining the chat, he is born a male. He is transitioning to become a woman. So I'm sure he's onto all kinds of hormones. Typically, that's part of the process. So he's probably she or he, whatever, is nuts. Okay. Patriot, supposedly he or she is a gamer pro. Go figure, basement dwelling, hot pocket eating cuckoo. Boom. No lies were detected in your statement, Patriot. Exactly. Joel, yes. No. Joel, the roommate is not in custody, but he is providing answers to the police. He shared the text messages. My thing is, will he also be charged? Because if they were partners, you mean to tell me he didn't know? Come on. So tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section.
It's all going to come out. Lance Twiggs, his partner. All right, so I'm going to read this article. I'm going to keep this up and read this article and see what it says while we're online. I'm getting this information for the first time. They lived together in a 3-bedroom apartment. in St. George, near his parents' homes. Parents live by Washington City, in Washington City. Twiggs showed police texts from Robinson about stashing a gun linked to the Wednesday shooting of a prominent conservative, which is Charlie Kirk, at Utah Valley University. His identity was revealed as separate reports emerged from Fox and the New York Post, which state that Robinson was living with a transgender partner who is now cooperating with investigators.
How you doing, Daniel? On, I think you're new here. Hit the like button, love, as well as the subscribe button if you are enjoying this content. Yes, Mayor. It seems like every minute something else comes out. We know that's how it goes. Everyone, welcome Daniel to the Rolynn's Reviews channel. We are glad that you are here, Daniel, and we hope that you enjoy the content. So again, from what we've seen, a lot of these trans people, not saying all, but if you're transitioning to a sex because you believe, thank you, Daniel. We appreciate you too. Everyone, let's give him a warm Rolynn's Reviews welcome to Daniel. He just subbed. Daniel, we did a live earlier on neighbors and classmates of this I call him a twerp and a coward. And anyone who was not here earlier, I'm dropping that link for you now. There you go. Okay. But I'm just saying, I think Joel said something earlier. When he jumped off that roof, where was the rifle? He didn't have a weapon in his hand. They're saying it was found in the woods or something. I didn't see him jump down with a rifle. Someone answer that question for me. And I'm here. I'm keeping up with your comments. The link I just dropped was from the earlier live, so that you can catch that later. Don't forget, folks, hit the like button. It won't cost you one thin dime. Thank you so much for being here. Here we go. No, they're not my girls, and those hormones make them crazy.
It is unclear if Twiggs is the same person referenced in the report, and he has not been named in the affidavit. His grandfather, her grandfather, his grandfather, Jerry Twiggs, told the Daily Mail that he was unable to comment on rumors. Why can't you comment on the rumors? If it's not true, just say no. The grandfather told the Daily Mail, his grandfather, her grandfather, I don't want to comment on that. I'm not sure what his situation is exactly right now. But Jerry also confirmed his grandson had been talking with police, but he has not spoken to his grandson since.
Wow.
Somebody said Lance Tifa. Lance Tifa. Lance Tifa. His name is Lance. Dun, 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 dun. Breaking news.
Kami, Rolynn, did you hear about the book that came out 1 to 2 days before Charlie's unalivement that talked about his potential death and how it would happen? Kami, I heard about, I think a couple of videos ago, because I've been covering this all week on Twitter. They had him, Trump, Elon, several other people and they were saying this is who we need to get next. They are bold. The FBI needs to arrest these people. They're not going to stop. How you doing, Samantha Katz? I was wondering the same thing. Samantha, I help me figure it out. My 2 eyeballs work last time I checked. He did not throw a gun off the roof, and he didn't have a gun when he jumped down. He jumped down and ran. Okay, so we all looked at the same video. Samantha, if you're new here, hit the like button, love. Also, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It won't cost you anything, I promise. So, my girls, it's absolutely insanity for a man to try to become a woman or a woman try to become a man. There is no rational reasoning behind it. Right. It doesn't have to be rational. It's not your life. I do think they're mentally ill, but you can be mental and a decent human being. Yeah. Take your medications, Daniel, and go on. But I think, like I said, I don't think people are homophobic. I think people just, particularly with the the male athletes participating in female sports. That is not right. Going in the female bathrooms, these too many things happen. Women, we need our space. That's our space. So it's just too much. Samantha Cat, everyone say hello to Sam and welcome her to the Rollins Reviews family. We are glad you are here. And that's where we are, folks. So let's listen. More breaking news.
Roommate of Tyler Robinson, the assassin, has been revealed. After he was with the police, he's been at his house, and there's no way for us to contact him other than going over there, the grandfather says. Authorities have not yet confirmed the identity or the motive, but
how you doing, the Crafty Halo? Everyone say hello to the Crafty. Hey, we have a lot of new folks coming in. Hi, Crafty. Everyone, welcome the Crafty to the Rollins Reviews family. We are glad you are here. We are breaking this news that Tyler Robinson lived with a transgender, a man who was transitioning to become a woman. Thank you for the warm welcome. Oh yeah. So the Crafty Halo, if you will, hit the like button. Also, if you are enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button, please, and join us. We're live several times a week, and we discuss pertinent issues that are going on in America, especially. Barnes Homestead, we are only 10 away from 15,000. So if everyone in the live stream, Samantha, especially the new folks, would share this stream on Truth Social or Facebook, we'll hit 10 while we're live right now. Thank you for asking, Barnes. We're 10 away. Kami, they act like common sense is a mental defect that needs to go. The world has been flipped completely upside down. We need to bring back common sense and put it on steroids and open up the insane asylums. Truth bomb. Thanks for the wonderful welcome. I've been subbed. Oh, okay, Crafty Halo. Thank you, love. Thank you. I guess you watch and you don't comment. Yeah, we're 10 away from 15,000. If all of you shares this stream on Facebook or Truth Social, we'll hit it right now. Whiskey Monk, how you doing? How you doing, love? Hit that like button, Whiskey Monk. All of you who are new to the channel, which you are numerous, let me know what you think about this guy, Tyler Robinson, living with a transgender, a man who's transitioning to be a woman. And again, I've always said, if you are a heterosexual male and you are with a transgender, you're gay. You can't accept, your sexuality. Because if you're a heterosexual man, why not just go get someone who was born a woman? Why are you going to get someone who is transitioning to be a woman? Make that make sense. Okay, Crafty. Thank you, love. Here we go. Yeah, I love Greg. He is awesome.
Utah Governor Spencer Cox told the Wall Street Journal that Robinson was deeply indoctrinated with leftist ideology. South Utah native Twigs, name is Twigs, studied at Utah Tech University, according to his Facebook page. Has he got a Facebook? Lance Twigs. I'm going to look for his Facebook. Stay with me. I'm going to look around for his Facebook. Maybe we can get his Facebook up and see more photos. Lance Twigs. Shooter's roommate. Yeah, I found it. It's interesting. On his profile, it says, "Did you pray today?"
On his Facebook profile, "Did you pray today?" OMG. Rollins, did you hear about the whole family that went trans? The mom became the father became the mom, the son became the daughter, and the daughter became the son. I heard some crazy story comment, and it was to me, it was sensory overload, and I'm like, they're not driving me crazy, and so I never did see the whole thing. This is big news. First time report. Yeah, Whiskey Monk. Yes. Whiskey Monk, what is your thought? My thoughts are, if you are a heterosexual man, why not just go get someone who was born a woman? Why are you going to get someone who is transitioning to try and become a woman? Because we know they really can't become a woman. I don't care how many hormones you take. The strange attracts the strange. Sexual conduct isn't really the measure of a person. If I die, delete my search history before my obituary, Daniel. The strange attracts the strange. I will agree with that. But I just feel, yeah, we live in a broken world filled with sin, and we need Jesus now more than ever. Facts. Whiskey Monk, let's move forward and get this ship righted. Yes, Whiskey Monk, facts. Here we go.
Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna get this up soon. Let's send this over to Magnolia. We're digging in on Lance Twiggs, the roommate, who is now cooperating with authorities. Lance Twiggs. This is the roommate.
What kind of name is that? Lance Twiggs. So he's transitioning to become a woman. What's his new name going to be? I can't. Oh my God. Here we go.
Transgender. He goes to Utah Tech University. And just like Robinson, he's a gamer. Posting shooting game videos on a TikTok account with the bio, becoming TikTok pros, one terrible video at a time. He posted himself on social media playing popular video games, including Apex Legends and Rocket League. Other comical videos the roommate has shared include adding spaghetti to an Italian sandwich and microwaving a bottle of Mountain Dew.
And notice again, well, you've heard them say they're indoctrinated in the public schools. And obviously when they go to these colleges and universities. So Trump has been defunding Harvard and some others. And I say, yes, this is what they're causing. They're causing all these problems. That's why they're so angry. He took all that money away. He cut the money source. And so, hey, that's why some of these people go off and they become so indoctrinated. They just become just clueless. Nut jobs.
Here's what they say to the Daily Mail. Friends told Daily Mail that Robinson and Twiggs were part of a large group chat of dozens of gamer friends, mostly from Robinson's high school that he went to called Pine View High School, and hosted an online chat network on Discord. Robinson's alleged incriminating texts to Twiggs were also sent on Discord, according to the affidavit filed Friday. Here's what they say. A neighbor of their apartment where they lived together, these two, they lived together. Twiggs, Lance Twiggs. Some people said AKA Lance Tifa, Lance Twiggs, and Tyler Robinson, a neighbor by the name of Cable Phillips, said police arrived at their two-story housing complex around 5:30 a.m. on Friday and cordoned off the area. We're at the jail right now.
This is actually the jail, for those that don't know, where Tyler Robinson's being housed. Barnes says bent twigs. How about, at Twisted Twigs? Wow. I'm an old-fashioned Christian. I always tell the people what I think we have to get a grip. God is against this. Right, Tina? You have to go, you have to hit them with the Bible, because that's the truth, the word of God. How you doing, Miss Connie? That's okay, Connie. Hey, this is the second live stream of the day, Connie. So I'm trying to stay on top of it. So we can come in here and vent and talk about all this. Barnes, I don't know what they're doing microwaving Mountain Dew. They're nuts. It's already toxic. Microwaving it is making it more toxic. But okay, here we go.
We're at the jail. Here's some photographs. We'll keep this up here of Tyler and his partner.
So this is his partner that you're looking at. And that's transitioning. For those, Miss Connie, you're just joining, and there are a few other people who have not chimed in. His partner is transitioning to become a woman, but was born a man. They want us to turn a blind eye to their perversion so they can continue coming after the kids. Boom. Yeah, so that's what it's about. Whiskey Monk. We got to reach the youth in our lives. My niece is 15 and going through that awkward age. I pulled her aside last week and told her that I accept her as she is, and she is a girl. Okay, Whiskey Monk. All right. Whiskey Monk, let me know what you think. I'm assuming you're a man. If I'm wrong, correct me. If you are a heterosexual man and you want to date a woman, I don't know if you're married or anything. Are you going to get someone who was born a woman or someone who is transitioning to become a woman? I'm asking for a friend. Okay, Beverly, you've been watching Fred Sanford and Sanford and Son again. Boom. You know it.
Lance Twiggs. Lance Twiggs. We're discussing Lance Twiggs and information, but according to a neighbor in their apartment complex, authorities arrived during the early morning hours, 5:30 a.m. Lance Twiggs, early morning hour, 5:30 a.m. on Friday, and blocked off their apartment. Wow. We got some bombshell breaking news here. It's all coming together, folks. What do you think the motive is? His partner, we'll say girlfriend, boyfriend that he lived with is trans. Trans question asked to Charlie Kirk. We are discussing Lance Twiggs.
And while we're discussing it, I'm here researching, trying to see if I can find out any new information on Lance Twiggs. So that's why I'm not talking. I'm paying attention to the chat, but I'm also doing some research, folks. So if I miss your comment, charge it to my head, not my heart.
See what else I could get out of this and find out more. Investigators were seen carrying out paper bags, envelopes, and a personal computer of Lance Twiggs.
Wow.
Lance Twiggs. Come on in. JLR investigates. Everything is falling into place, folks, about this situation. And now we have a Lance Twiggs. I'm going to continue to look here. Okay, so they were carrying out paper bags, envelopes, and personal computer.
Whiskey Monk says, okay, Daniel, I'm glad you like it. I'm a 50-year-old heterosexual man. I've been around long enough to see the frog boiling in the water. All right. Okay, we're at Barnes. I missed. Hello, Megan. Megan, how you doing, love? Tell us what your thoughts are. We're talking about Lance Twiggs. That is the live-in partner, the alleged live-in partner of Tyler Robinson, who was born a man, who is in the process of transitioning to become a woman. And you're looking at him right here. Well, him, her, whatever. I don't know. I'll say him because that's what he was born as. Okay. I know it's not politically correct, but whatever. Right here and right here. His name is Lance Twiggs. I'm doing some research on him now. Yes, Tina, it's too crazy. Patriot Roy, if you're a heterosexual man and you want to, if you're not married and you want to go out on a date with a woman, are you going to get someone who was born a woman, or are you going to get someone who was born as a man who is transitioning to become a woman? Tell me, Patriot, answer that question, love. Here we go.
A forensics team photographed the exterior, worked their way inside the apartment. While they worked, neighbors stood behind police tape watching in the South Utah desert sunshine. Another resident, neighbor of them, by the name of Josh Kemp, 18, told the New York Times that Robinson would always blast music with his roommate and never talk to anybody. Antisocial?
Okay, did you hear that? They would blast, I don't know what kind of music. They would blast music and they pretty much kept to themselves. And I'm thinking probably they didn't want people prying, especially since Lance Twiggs is transitioning to become a woman. Those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Patriot D. So let me put something in the chat section for Patriot. Meow. Look at Patriot. Patriot says, I want a cat. All right, Patriot. I assume so. Thank you for your service, but I put some kitty cats there for you, Patriot. Okay, I'm just asking for a friend. Because Patriot, now you said you're a heterosexual man. This is my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. Right, Nemo? Patriot. Nemo, everyone look at what Patriot's talking about here. Patriot is a mess. I love Patriot Roy. Patriot, if I'm saying, and you are with someone who, and you say Can you hear me now? Let me know. Please let me know if you can hear and see me. Okay. Audio is back. Can you see me? I did a quick reboot. All right. James said, I hear breathing. I'm back. I don't know what happened, but all right. Can you hear and see me? Let me know, please. I did a soft reboot. Can you see the picture on the screen? All right, we're back. Thank you for sticking with me, folks. Thank you. All right. We can't see you, but we can hear you. All right. I'm going to get the video going again. Can you see you can see the video? Daniel says she's alive. Daniel. Oh my God. I better be. You better not be talking to my girl. Can everyone see? Okay, you can see the screen. Perfect. Here we go. Let's see if you can hear this. I'm going to start this again.
Just him and his partner inside that house, blasting music, hanging out with their gamer friends on Discord. You know, another classmate spoke out in the last 24 hours and said that Robinson was like a Reddit guy. A Reddit guy. He said a Reddit guy.
You know, a lot of those gamers are weird anyway. Oh my God. I've seen some at, at the high school. They're a different breed. They kind of, hang out with like gamers. How you doing, Sam? Thanks for dropping in again. Hit the like button, folks, and the subscribe button if you haven't already. And they're a different breed. They are. James, I'm not on camera, love. But I am here. And from my observance, what I see, so far as the high school gamers are concerned, they stick with their own kind, if that makes sense, other gamers, but you really don't see them, they're pretty much off on their own from what I have seen, right? To the students that are in the high school. And so obviously it's the same, when they go off to college. So, what are your thoughts? Yeah, Nemo. Now you got it, Nemo. And they are. You see them with other gamers. Sometimes they have they wear like the gothic type clothing, and they pretty much stick with other gamers. So they are kind of antisocial. Not all, but some. Jeremiah, we know you're not like that, love. We love you. But I'm just telling you what I have witnessed in the high school. Okay. Oh, okay, Jeremiah. Nemo said it's been like this for decades. Boom. Even when you look at the school shooters, a lot of them are sort of techie. Hit the like button, please, folks. They they love playing those games. They become desensitized to violence. I mean, and in some of these games, that's why they're rated. Oh my God, I've seen some, they are bloody and gory. So that does not bother them. They see it every day as they're playing these violent games. I was a pink with a blue and purple mohawk, but things change. Okay, Jane. Joel, I remember when my friend got an Atari, bounced the dot back and forth game. Joel, I'm happy to say I'm not the only old person in this chat. You're talking about the game on Atari called Pong. I remember. Boom. Yes, I'm that old, Joel. Oh my God. Woo. Oh my God. He is. Joel is taking me back. I love it. Here we go.
Motive, it appears, has been revealed, folks. The motive from this appears to be because of his trans roommate. I mean, they haven't revealed it, but hey, we'll share out there that he had a trans roommate by the name of Lance Twiggs. Wasn't there a football player named Lance Briggs? Lance Twiggs. That's an interesting name. Twiggs. Lance Twiggs. Lance Twiggs. Appears they went to school together, around the same age. Some wild stuff. This is some wild stuff. It's continued to go on. The resident said that they would always blast music in their apartment and never talk to anybody. Oliver Holt told the paper when he knocked on Robinson's door last week asking for odd jobs, the alleged shooter was acting pretty strange and kept glancing back into his apartment, acting kind of nervous and scared. A Zillow listing shows photos of Robinson and Twiggs' apartment at the Fossil Hills housing complex in St. George, a 1,460 square foot space with 3 beds and 2 baths. How did he get that? I mean, but it's not that much. The property listing said the current owners has roommates bringing a total of $900 a month for just 2 of the bedrooms.
Daniel says that's a jump for believing he did it because his boyfriend was trans. Not saying that's not why, but it's definitely not the only reason. The guy's mentally ill. Okay, Daniel, and that's what we've been saying. Reopen the insane asylum. You have a lot of they're nut jobs. And that's what I think. Barnes said, I was a male trapped in a woman's body and then I was born. Barnes, I love it. Oh my God. The Breakfast Club showed how you shouldn't stereotype. Yeah, I don't look at the Breakfast Club because they are all the way left. I can't with them. Yeah, Daniel, and that's the root to me. The crux of the problem is mental illness. It's real. James, I knew a girl named Pete, and Pete was very peaceful. Okay, James. Consequences, Barnes. Yes. I have grandkids in high school and their parents monitor those games. Those games can be dangerous. Tina, yeah, some of these school shooters, they play those games. And again, they're desensitized to violence and they want to go out and act out what they do in those games. Good point, Tina, good point. My girls, people will continue to make excuses for sin no matter what. Society's at an all-time low and people still don't want the truth. Boom, Nemo. Gen X grew up going outside, making friends in person and playing. We grew up at the beginning of video games. The games have perpetually gotten worse. Nemo, you know I'm a Gen X person, and you're right. We played Pong, Atari, Sega Genesis, but it's nothing like what they have out there today. Jeremiah, there's over $50 more than I get a month in my Social Security and Social Security disability. Okay. Cammy, they're looking into that to see if he had a manifesto. My girls, mental illness. Yeah, my girls, probably case by case situation. You know, once we find out everything, you know, we need to know about this case. Some of it's both, some of it, you know, like I said, case by case, you have to sort of check that. Okay. Here we go.
Holy smokes, Zillow they listed the address. It appears to be 3419 South River Road, Unit 73. We got pictures inside what his apartment looks like. Lance Twiggs. Roommate. An affidavit supporting the murder, obstruction of justice, and felony firearm charges against Robinson describes the roommate handing over bombshell text messages to police after the shooting.
Roommates trying to stay out of jail. We know that. Parents really need to keep an eye on their kids. Truth bomb. My girl says it is all sin. We are sinners by nature and we don't want to deal with the truth. My girls, we sure don't, but you're actually telling the truth, young lady. You are. We all are. Exactly.
Here is his roommate's Facebook. Probably will be going down. There you go. Lance Twiggs. Looks like he's a skier.
He's a skier. He was born a man. He's transitioning to become a woman. He's doing all kinds of things. Nemo, what happened to your sound? Joel says his sound is working okay. Can everyone see and hear me okay? All right. Thank God it wasn't me this time. Whew.
It's the ski. You know, it's a mountainous region over there in Utah, Wasatch, Park City. Sure, there's other ski resorts. They live close to the Grand Canyon. They live close to the Grand Canyon. Shooter's motive.
James, oh my God. Yes, James, I've said that. The internet is the greatest thing and the worst thing to happen to mankind, but it's a responsibility needed by parents to know that. I'm going to pin that because I've even said that to my students about the internet is great, but it's bad too. And I mean, true word, true statement. It's good, but it's bad. Oh my goodness. Excellent, James. Yes. Oh my God.
Looks like they went to school together. Him and Lance. Robinson sent messages to Twiggs, who was not named in the law enforcement filing, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point. So Robinson was telling Lance Twiggs to go get that gun. Where was Lance Twiggs at the time? Will Lance Twiggs get charged? Considering I didn't hear anything about Lance Twiggs turning this guy in. So there was a massive manhunt for at least a day before a local preacher or some sort of pastor found out it looks like him and got it back to the dad, or the dad. I'm a little confused about how that transpired, but the point is the dad turned him in. I didn't hear anything about Lance Twiggs turning him in. And if Lance Twigg was getting some text beforehand saying, retrieve the gun, then Lance Twiggs knew what was going on and kept silent. Why isn't Lance Twiggs arrested, charged? Lest he's offered him 100% immunity to turn in and testify against his lover, Tyler Robinson, his lover. I mean, to me, that sounds like he's complicit. And the fact that he's transgender seems like the motive here. It seems like he's complicit too, Lance.
And that's what I was thinking. How much did he know? So those that were not here earlier, the earlier live stream that I did, Nemo, yes. The link I just dropped, that was actually from how you doing, Jackalow? From the live stream that I did earlier on Tyler Robinson. There was a classmate, a neighbor, some people in the community who were talking about, how wonderful their family was, and they had no clue. And they're just finding it hard to believe that he did this. Jackalow, welcome to the stream, love. Hit that like button. Jackalow, I just dropped a link for the earlier live. And so, hey, if you were not here, hey, check it out. Hit the like button, folks, and subscribe button if you have not already. Here, oh, okay, Jackalow. Thank you, love. Here we go.
Twigs. Robinson allegedly texted about leaving the rifle in the bush. Messages related to visibly watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referencing to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope in the rifle being unique, the affidavit says. Messages from the contact, Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfit. He's telling Lance Briggs everything in these texts. That seems like an accomplice to me, but hey. They're saying that he's the only one, yet Lance Briggs knows about all these text messages about outfits being changed and retrieve a gun. What does that tell you? Why? We're at the jail right now. We're at the jail where Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson is being held without bond. The affidavit does not accuse Twigs of any involvement in a crime. At his parents' home on Friday afternoon, Twigs' father, Tyler, said no one in the family would be commenting. Well, that's interesting. Twigs, Lance Twigs' dad is Tyler Twigs. I mean, I'm gonna do the database right here and look up a little bit about Lance Twigs. Sometimes when these people are in their early 20s, they don't pop up like that. He does, though. He pops up. Not much on him except, him living with his parents. The Samarin address that they were searching. Well, the younger the person is, they don't have much paper trail or anything like that. So I'm going to put in Lance Twigs and see what we can get. Find out some information. Put him in the database now. Oh, yeah, he's in there. Lance Twigs, St. Gerard. Lance S. Twigs. And his dad's name is Tyler. Imagine that. Lance Twigs' dad, his name is Tyler. He's Tyler, too. A bunch of Tylers. Lance Twigs. Yeah. He's listed as the apartment complex that they were searching. 3419 South River Road, Unit 73. That's where authorities were at. Public knowledge. Authorities were out there. Videos are out there. Authorities went to the apartment complex Friday morning. So another thing I found interesting about Tyler was he was arrested at 4 a.m., according to arrest records, and then booked at this jail here at a little bit before 8 a.m. Now, this jail here is about 3 hours and 45 minutes away from Washington City, Utah. I believe they arrested him around 4 a.m. Friday morning and then ushered him up Interstate 15, put him in this jail right before 8 a.m. The timing is right there, and booked him, and he's sitting there. And he's there. I thought he was going to technically stay down there at the Washington County Jail, but that looks like a little rinky-dink place. No way. Going to put him up here where he's charged. He's the most high-profile inmate in the United States of America right now. This is literally the most high-profile person in the entire country right now that sits in prison. I think he's more high-profile than Luigi Mangione and Sean P. Diddy Combs, who sit both in the Metropolitan Detention Center, New York City. Lance Twiggs. I got some info. So, Lance Twiggs, his dad, mom. There's a bunch of twigs. Oh, he got a criminal record, no proof of insurance. Got pulled over August 21st, 2024. He didn't have proof of insurance. But he doesn't have any other criminal record or nothing like that. That's not a criminal. That's just a citation. That's a traffic violation. Lance Twiggs. According to the records I have, he doesn't have any social media presence, though we shared his Facebook page. Who is these people? Lance Stephen Twiggs. Lance Stephen Twiggs. Let me see what else I can get on him. Lance Twiggs. Daily Mail put it out there. Daily Mail is the only one that has it. Here's another. How many people around the country is Lance Twiggs?
Country concert for young pianists, and piano just gives other than playing video games.
Okay, so how old would he be? All right, so let me ask you something. Yeah, this could be him. Larson Pianos. Brigham, Utah. How many other Lance? Orem, Utah. So here's a video. This is Lance Twiggs 11 years ago playing the piano. It's him. This was posted 11 years ago. Let me make sure there's no music. I'm going to send this over to you, Magnolia. Lance Twiggs, I found him playing the piano 11 years ago. It's clearly a Utah account, and 11 years ago would make him 11 or 12. 10 years old.
How you doing, Tube Steak? Yes, we're listening to this JLR. He gets everything. I don't know if he has a police scanner or inside info. He seems to get information. Hey, if he's hooked up with TMZ, he gets information before anyone. Hit that like button for me, please, folks. And also subscribe if you have not already. We are 10 away from 15,000. Yes, here we go.
You don't have a Twitter. You might have a TikTok. They said he goes on TikTok. That's gaming. Lance Twiggs. It appears Twiggs and Robinson became closer friends after the alleged shooter graduated high school. He received a $32,000 scholarship to Utah State University, but only attended one semester in 2021 as pre-engineering major. He later enrolled at Dixie Technical College in his hometown of St. George and was a third-year student in electrical apprenticeship program. That's all we got on Lance Twiggs. There's a YouTube account, Tyler Twiggs, a kid playing a piano, Lance Twiggs. Yeah, I found that, Samron. Thank you. And I found that before reading your comment, because you brought it, you put that out there before I was looking, I just found it. So you probably did the same thing I did, was like starting to Google around this guy, trying to find some info on Lance Twiggs. Who showed the police the Discord messages? Lance? It appears so. Lance. Lance is the one that was communicating and back and forth with Robinson here. Lance Twiggs, roommate, transgender. Here he is. I got a video of him playing the piano 11 years ago. This was posted 11 years ago.
My name is Lance Twiggs. I am playing country concerto for young pianists. And I like piano because it gives me something other than playing video games to do with my fingers.
All right, so we just wanted to play that. That was him 11 years ago. Lance Twiggs, he said he played piano instead of video games. This is, that was him back then. See how people grow up? See how people grow up? Now he living in an apartment with Tyler Robinson. And Tyler Robinson assassinates Charlie Kirk. And Lance Twiggs, that you saw there when he was younger, was exchanging messages with Tyler. And here we are. Why isn't Lance Twiggs charged? Should be charged if he's cooperating.
That's what I was saying earlier, folks. Miss Connie says, I'm sure you know and agree that some of these colleges are ruining our kids. Yes, Connie, before you joined the chat, I said indoctrination, brainwashing, all of that. Yes, but how do you go from, okay, he could have been the next Pavarotti. Go from that to, okay, now you're transitioning from a man to a woman. And now I agree with Jagalo, you weren't in the earlier stream. I said that. What, you can't tell me you're living with someone, they're your partner, and you don't know what they're planning. I'm just saying, that's a little suspect to me, in my opinion. So here we go.
Like they said, he's doing, cooperating with the FBI. Does that excuse him? Does he have any responsibility whatsoever? Was the motive of what Tyler did is because of his girlfriend, boyfriend, Lance Twiggs, who, by the way, they're saying that Lance Twiggs there, and that clearly looked like a little boy, looked like he was a boy. The reports coming from Fox News and the New York Post is saying Shane Reed says it's relevant because it shows a shift. Absolutely, it's relevant. Absolutely, it's relevant. But the reports by Fox and New York Post saying that he was a male transitioning to be a female. He had everything brought up right, and Trans-Tifa indoctrinated him with hatred. I mean, I already have a nickname for him already. Lance Tifa. Lance Tifa. Lance Twiggs. Lance Tifa. Lance Tifa. But yeah, I mean, it's the same. Listen, we got to have a conversation about these universities and institutions. Another thing, though, is like we've said, previously, well, it was reported right from the beginning, really, the memo that was out, the leaked memo that Steven Crowder had from the DOJ, basically saying pro-trans and pro-Antifa, gun. You know, the fact that the trans question was asked about mass shootings right before Kirk was shot. The LGBTQ multicultural center at that particular university being shut down just months prior. Utah's new law banning DEI initiatives at public universities. I think it was a combination of it all. Plus, Tyler discussing with his family prior how he hates Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk goes to universities, engages with students, dialogue. Charlie Kirk doesn't want DEI in schools, universities, public institutions, right? But he's also peacefully wants to debate and try to help people, try to give people advice. And he was a communicator. Charlie Kirk wasn't a violent person that I ever seen. I haven't seen any viral videos of Charlie Kirk acting like a jerk or an a-hole or, I haven't seen it. Have you? Have you ever seen Charlie Kirk get in a fight with anyone? Have you ever seen Charlie Kirk's scandal? No, I haven't. Man, his wife speaking last night, Erica, powerful, right? Powerful. She's hurt. She's hurt. I mean, Antifa, picked the wrong person.
Yeah, and they're not stopping the movement. So if anything, you have more people joining the movement. They see what this is. Joel says, I like humor. Oh, we all do. With everything that's transpired the past week or two, we all need some humor. We do. Hit that like button, folks. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button. It won't cost you anything. Daniel, lots of times a partner commits a crime and has zero recollection of the events. Okay, Daniel. All right. I will continue.
Pick the wrong person. Who can rally around killers like this that do this? A party? You can't. You can't. And I truly believe that this has created millions of Charlie Kirks. Or you could arguably say red pilled a bunch of people. People have been red pilled. One of the classmates of Tyler was saying that Tyler spends too much time on Reddit. Reads, gets in this.
How many of you are familiar with Reddit? If I have anyone in the chat that actually uses Reddit, let me know. Please. I mean, I really don't, but it pops sometimes when I'm looking for information, it will pop up. But I usually choose a different source. All right. So let me know what your thoughts are on Reddit. I think they're a little left leaning. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're going to get off from here in a few. Hit the like button if you will. We're almost to 60 likes. Yeah. For research. Okay, James, you use Reddit. Okay. Okay, Baldwin says, okay, Reddit. Yeah, I normally Reddit. Yeah, they're left leaning, and so yeah, Jackalow, they're kind of left leaning. So I've checked their site, and I'm like, nah. Okay, Jeremiah, perfect. Let me play a little bit more of this, and then we'll get out of here.
Cocoon the certain safe space and just listens to a bunch of nonsense and then just tends to believe it. And then acts out on a certain stranger because what others have said online about Charlie Kirk in this echo chamber. Yeah, Charlie Kirk was for the First Amendment. Charlie Kirk was for peaceful debate. He's saying you need to communicate. You need to communicate because if you eliminate communicating with people and differences, one, that's fascism. And two, it leads to violence. If you stop communicating with people you're different with, and it starts different beliefs, whatever.
Yeah, my girl said Reddit is a no for me. Boom. Yeah, I can't with Reddit. My girls, I cannot. Okay. Yeah, it is Florida. Yeah, they're a little left leaning. So no. Okay.
It tends to destroy civilizations. It tends to, he even quoted genocide. Genocide. If you fail to communicate, there's no communication between parties. We could head to very, very dark times. So why would this guy do this? Because he's protecting his trans friend. He thinks that the world is going to come to an end with trans people around the country. I didn't see no indication of that. Listen, in this country, you're 18 or older. You can be whatever you want to be. Might not like it, but you can be whatever you want to be. I don't think that's ever going to be taken away, per se, right? I told y'all, like, the most discriminated people on the face of the earth or in the United States is not trans. It's not African American. It's not white. It's felons. Honestly, it's felons. Felons are the most discriminated people in the United States. Felons. They're the ones that can't get a lot of opportunities because of mistakes they made.
And thanks to Florida actually shared JLR's past, and so that makes sense with what he's saying, because I did not know that until Florida. So that's why he's making that statement. Rollins, if you ever do go on Reddit, please stay away from the deep, dark, sicko side. I accidentally ended up on that side, and it's a big Kami, again, I checked them out, and I'm like, it was some crazy stuff. I was like, nah, I'm good. And just by the comments, I could tell it was left leaning. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to get any information from here.
We are outside the Utah County Jail. Lance Twiggs has been identified as the shooter's roommate, lover. MK Ultra, nice to see you. FBI has Lance Twiggs as their task force mole for plea deal.
Okay. And I told you we were going to end this. I just wanted to jump on for a short period of time. I will share this video so you can watch it in its entirety. Pretty much everything that I wanted to share with you has been covered. If you look at the title of the video, the shooter's motive, we still don't know. But Tyler Robinson, his partner, was a transgender, born a male, transitioning to be a female, and is cooperating with the FBI as the investigation continues. And that's all we have for now. Again, it seems every minute. Yeah, no problem, Mayor. Thank you. And that's pretty much all I had for you. And I don't know. You can check. I don't know. It seems every minute something's happening. I may jump back on later. If not, I'll be on tomorrow at my normal time. So sometimes, since YouTube doesn't send out notifications, you just have to check to see if I'm live or not. Thank you so much, Jeremiah, for your super chat. I don't use Reddit 24/7, but I have, and I only go in games. Okay, you too, Jeremiah. I'm sending you some hearts in the comment section, love. Thank you so much for your assistance, for your support, everything. Have a wonderful day, everyone. And if you don't, then I really don't care. James, you're going to be placed in the corner before we leave today. Oh my God, James. You were trying so hard, James. And here at the end, you fell apart. Boom. Did anyone hear about the illegal that chopped off the man's head and slashed him? Yes, Tommy. Yes, that's another story. That's why I'm getting off from here. I need to research that. Yes, I saw that. Oh, God. Connie, there's an LGBTQ comedian. His name is Tyra Rivera. I think he's trans, voted for Trump, and he calls him out. He popped up on my... Okay, Connie. Yes. James, but I got pinned. I know, James. You're still going to the corner. Ha ha. Woo! Poor James. He can't win on here. Florida, what are we going to do with James? So that's all I have. I may jump back on, maybe not. If not, you'll see me tomorrow, but you can check back. Look, Florida's laughing. Florida's laughing at James. Oh my God, I love it. Continue to share this stream, folks. We are growing. We're 10 away. So with your help, with you sharing, with you hitting that little thumb, which is the like button. Okay, James says I care a little bit. It's Steve, yeah, and then a lot of the information's erroneous. I noticed that as well, Steve. So no, it's a no for me. Jeremiah, Florida, I was trying to say that in the chat. Yeah, I missed because as we were listening to this, I was trying to do some research and see if anything new was popping up. So that's why, that's why I may have missed your comment, because I'm trying to, I'm live streaming from my desktop, but I'm on my laptop because, you know, when I'm live, sometimes breaking news is happening and I'm trying to, you know, share it with you before you leave usually. So, but that's all for this stream, and I've enjoyed you all. And I'm going to see if I can find out anything else about Lance Twiggs. What a name. Oh my God. That's why I use the super chat, but I know. Oh, okay. Jeremiah. Yeah. Jeremiah, when there's a breaking news story and there's something happening like every minute it appears, it seems like. Yeah, Jackalow, this illegal beheaded someone in a hotel. Yeah, and so I need to go research that. Send our mascot to James. Yes, Florida. He can take care of Froggy. So thank all of you for your support. Every time you hit that like button, you're supporting the channel. Every time you share the stream out, you're supporting the channel, and I appreciate it. And again, look for me either later tonight or tomorrow. I'll be live again. Thank you again for spending your very valuable time with the Rolynn's Reviews YouTube channel. I'm coming to talk to you in the comment section right now. So be safe until we meet again. Love you and be cognizant of your surroundings. I'm coming to talk to you now. Don't forget to leave a comment. Florida, I have a friend here that's gonna try to help me find Froggy, because I have looked everywhere. I don't know where Froggy is, but Froggy has to go. Okay, Jeremiah. Okay, James. So don't forget, folks, to come back and leave a comment under the description box. Okay. All right. Thank you again, and I'm coming to talk to you now.